Hi, it's Robin Sharma, and I hope you're doing great. I am in isolation in a seaside cottage and working on the new book. It's like nothing I've ever written before. It's part memoir about, growing up in my childhood and my experiences in my teens and in my 20s. And when I self-published The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, when people didn't give me much of a chance. I was a completely unknown author and people were laughing at the title. They were mocking me. They were saying, who would read your book? What a silly title, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. It makes no sense. But as you know, your intuition is so much more powerful than your intellect. And, the very nature of having a mighty mission and an ambition full of enthusiasm means that your excitement and your vision, which feels very true for you, might seem strange to other people. And I think you have a great dream when other people don't understand your dream. You have a great mission when people ridicule and try to condemn your mission. And in many ways, the very nature of a great dream threatens most people because you're standing in possibility. And when you're standing in possibility, it actually brings up other people's betrayal of their genius. Sadly, most people are born into genius and then they pick up the doubt of the people around them and the fears of their early teachers. And then they pick up the messaging of society to play small and not to think very big and not to be imaginative and not to be authentic and not to be brave and not to go out there and do your part to build a better world. So the very nature of you having some kind of a brave ideal means it's going to threaten people. Some people will be jealous. Some people will be scared. Some people will try to criticize you, and you must continue at all costs. You must continue at all costs. It's so incredibly important to remember that. So, here's the writing cottage. I've got in the nighttime, I actually have an old school candle, which, it's very romantic and it gives me that sort of seafarer feeling. In the evenings, I read. In the mornings, I get up and I go for a walk and I just commune with nature, and it opens up, obviously it opens up the neural gateways and releases oxytocin and it releases serotonin, so I feel even more alive, and it releases dopamine, so I have more energy, and morning exercise releases norepinephrine, so that dials in my focus and I just feel great and get lots of energy. And then I come sit down. I have a little bit of coffee, which is a great cognitive enhancer and a great antioxidant. And then I just write. This is my 9th round of the manuscript. I've been working on it pretty much nonstop for 8 months. And why, if I was to deconstruct, why am I putting in so much effort? Well, there's a few things, because if I were to deconstruct it, I would say, number one, every project that you do is an opportunity to advance your craft. And so by trying to get every word right, every model right, every insight right, it stretches me to the limits of my craft. And as you push to the edges of your limits expand. So by pushing myself to make this the single greatest project I've ever released, then I actually upgrade my craft in the process, which is a priceless reward. The second part of the deconstruction of why I've spent 8 months on this book monomaniacally obsessed with trying to get it to world class, or AWC, absolute world class, is my readers, like you, deserve the absolute best output that I could possibly come up with. So it's a respect play. It's a respect thing for the people who consume my work. The third driver of why I push so hard to try to release only my magic, just like you have your magic, out into the world, is it makes me a better human being. So when I continue in the face of doubt and feeling like this isn't any good, and I felt that a lot through this book, like I hit these walls, they call them doubt walls, creative doubt walls, where I just go, I'm overreaching, I'm trying too hard, I'm trying to cover too much. This is confusing, it's too complex, it's not any good. When I reach that and then move through it to the other side, and you always get to the other side, then that stretches me as a human being. It makes me stronger. It builds my character. When I continue after like 6 months or 7 months of just focusing on one main project, that makes me more resilient. It makes me braver. When I push myself or encourage myself to go to a place of greater intimacy in this, sharing things that I'm scared to share, which I am doing in this book, that makes me more courageous. Going to the edges of your creative project allows you to own more of your potential and own more of your gifts. So point number 3 of this deconstruction is going to the places that you feared, or pushing your potential so that you materialize more of it, makes you a better human being. Fourth part of the deconstruction, why I've spent 8 months so far on this book, is, it allows me to scale service. And what I mean by that is this book, if I do my job well and it gets out to many people, it allows me to have impact. And more than anything else, and I speak about this a lot, but even a long life is a short ride, and we all end up as dust, right? And even the great kings and queens are generally forgotten. So the point really is, while you're alive, serve. While you're alive, live. Because we don't even know if we get tomorrow. I don't know if I get tomorrow. Who knows what can happen? The world is so precarious. Life is incredibly fragile. And that's why you don't want to postpone doing that creative project that will allow you to serve people, that will allow you to know the jagged edges of your craft. That's why you don't want to postpone doing your dreams. That's why you don't want to postpone doing a beautiful meal for your family tonight. It's why you don't want to postpone writing a forgiveness letter to someone who you've been carrying on your back, metaphorically speaking, because you haven't forgiven them. It's why you don't want to postpone launching that new business, for example, or, embarking on that new adventure. It's better to look foolish for a moment than be heartbroken for a lifetime. And what does that mean? It's better to get in the arena and do something that you're scared to do, and maybe you'll look foolish, but that's better than being heartbroken for an entire lifetime because you didn't seize the opportunity. There's a great quote, and I'll paraphrase it, or I might even be accurate, but it's Carlos Castaneda, great mystic, and he said, "The difference between an ordinary person and a warrior is life presents every one of us cubic centimeters of chance. The ordinary person doesn't prepare themselves. The warrior is prepared for that cubic center of chance, so when it appears, they seize it." So that's a little bit about and if you're interested in, people seem to be interested in my creative process. I mean, here's one of the most important points I can share with you. Isolation is the DNA of exponential creativity. And hopefully that's a little bit about my creative process and bringing you into, my work cottage where I'm working on this new book. Wish you an amazing day, and I'll talk to you really soon. Bye-bye.